Your $2,400 paycheck isn't small, it's just being erased in 48 hours. You see the deposit hit. For a moment, you feel safe. Then rent pulls out $1,800. Your credit card autopay hits for $350. A few subscriptions quietly stack another $60. And just like that, your account drops to almost nothing. No big purchase, no crazy spending, just normal life. And that's exactly why it keeps happening. This isn't about being bad with money. It's about a system that empties your account before you even touch it. And if you don't see it clearly, you'll keep living the same cycle every single month. Because the problem isn't what you're spending, it's when your money disappears. Jake makes $2,400 every 2 weeks. Not rich, not broke, just normal. Friday morning, his paycheck hits. He checks his banking app before even getting out of bed. $2,437.82. For a second, everything feels under control. Bills covered, maybe even some extra. By Friday night, he orders takeout. Nothing crazy, $28. Saturday, groceries, $96. Gas, $54. Still feels fine. Sunday night, he opens his app again. $1,100 left. That's when the shift happens. Monday morning, rent hits. Minus $1,800. Now he's negative. His brain immediately goes into damage control. Okay, I'll just use my credit card for a few days. Then, Tuesday, autopay for his credit card, minus $350. Now the card he was about to rely on is already maxed again. By Wednesday, Jake is checking his balance multiple times a day, avoiding certain purchases, doing mental math at checkout. Not because he went crazy spending, but because everything stacked at the wrong time. And that stress, it doesn't come from being irresponsible. It comes from watching your money vanish faster than you can react. But that's not even the real problem. It looks like you're overspending. That's the obvious explanation. That's what most people tell themselves. But that's not what's actually happening. The real problem is timing. Your money doesn't disappear because you spend too much. It disappears because everything hits at once. Think about it. Your paycheck lands, and within 24 to 48 hours, the system starts pulling from it. Rent, credit card autopay, subscriptions, insurance, phone bill, they don't wait. They don't spread out. They hit fast. So your account goes from full to drained, almost instantly. And your brain interprets that as failure. I messed up. I need to cut back. I need more discipline. But here's the truth. Even if you didn't buy that coffee, even if you skipped takeout, you'd still feel broke because the structure is broken. Your income arrives in chunks, but your expenses attack in clusters. And when those two collide, it creates the illusion that you're losing control. But the system was designed this way. You get paid, then everything comes to collect. Let's stop guessing and actually look at the damage. Jake makes $2,400 per paycheck. That feels decent, right? Now watch what happens. Rent, $1,800. That's gone instantly. Left, $600. Credit card autopay, $350. Now he's at $250. Subscriptions, phone, insurance, let's say another $150. Now he has $100 left. That's not a spending problem. That's math suffocating you. Now stretch it out. $100 for 14 days. That's about $7 a day. $7 per day. Now ask yourself, what does $7 even cover in the US? One coffee is $5, one fast food meal is $10 plus. Gas alone can wipe out an entire day's budget. So what happens? You swipe your card. Just this once. But it's never just once. Now zoom out. That extra $20 here, $30 there, turns into $300 by the end of the month. Then $3,600 a year.
And that doesn't even include interest. So now you're not just broke, you're building future debt every time your paycheck resets. And this is where it gets ugly, because the math doesn't just drain your account, it traps you.
Now, here's where it stops being math and starts being behavior. Because your brain doesn't experience money logically, it experiences timing. When your paycheck hits, you feel rich. Not actually rich, but temporarily safe. So your brain relaxes. You order food. You say yes to plans. You don't think twice about a $20 swipe. Because in that moment, it feels small. But 2 days later, that same $20 feels expensive. Now your brain flips. Stress, regret, avoidance. You start checking your bank app constantly. You hesitate at checkout. You promise yourself you'll do better next time. This is the loop. Spend when you feel safe, panic when reality hits, reset when the next paycheck comes. And the worst part? You never connect the two. Because your brain separates payday you from broke you. Two different identities, two different behaviors. So every cycle feels new, even though it's the same pattern repeating. And this is where people lie to themselves. They think it's about discipline, but it's not. It's about how your brain reacts to temporary money. And that reaction is predictable, which means it can be engineered against you. But it gets even clearer when you name it.
This is called the paycheck compression trap, because your entire financial life gets compressed into a 48-hour window. Money comes in and immediately gets squeezed by fixed costs. Rent pulls first, debt pulls next, bills follow right behind. So instead of your paycheck lasting 14 days, it gets crushed into 2. That's the trap. You're not living on a 2-week income. You're living on what's left after a 48-hour extraction. And that leftover amount, that's what you actually survive on. Which is why it always feels like you're broke. Because functionally, you are. Not because your income is too low, but because your usable money is microscopic. And once your brain adapts to that, it starts relying on credit to smooth the gap, which quietly locks you deeper into the same system. You earn, it compresses, you borrow, you repeat. And the more normal it feels, the harder it is to see. But once you do, you can finally break it. So how do you actually stop this? Not with motivation, not with trying harder. You fix the timing. First, split your paycheck the moment it hits, before anything else touches it. Create 3 buckets: survival, bills, spending. The second your money lands, move it. If rent is $1,800, isolate it immediately. Don't let it sit in your main account. Because if it sits there, your brain counts it as available. That's the first mistake. Second, break your own money into smaller releases. Instead of seeing $600 sitting there, turn it into $85 per week. Now your brain stops thinking in big chunks and starts thinking in limits. That alone reduces impulsive spending. Third, delay your own spending window. For the first 24 hours after payday, don't spend anything. No takeout, no random swipes. Let the system pull what it needs first. Then decide what's actually left. Because right now, you're spending before reality hits. That's why it feels like money disappears. Finally, kill silent drains. Open your subscriptions. If you see 3 charges under $15, that's not small. That's $45 monthly, $540 yearly. Cut at least one. Not all, just one. Because this isn't about perfection. It's about creating space between income and pressure. And once you create that space, everything starts to feel different. But here's the shift most people never make.
You have to stop thinking, I get paid $2,400. Because you don't. Not really. What you actually get is what survives after the compression. Maybe that's $600. Maybe it's $400. Maybe it's less. That number, that's your real income. Everything else is already spoken for.
And this is where people resist, because it feels like accepting defeat. I work hard, I should be able to use my money. But that belief is exactly what keeps the cycle alive, because it makes you spend money that was never truly available. The moment you switch perspectives, everything sharpens. You stop saying, I have $2,400, and start saying, I have $85 this week. That changes behavior instantly. Now a $25 swipe feels big. Now a $10 subscription feels annoying. Now a random purchase actually forces a decision. And that's the point. You're not broke because you earn too little. You feel broke because you're measuring the wrong number. Fix the number, and your behavior follows. But even with that shift, most people still fall back, because reality hits hard. Even if you do everything right, this might still feel tight. That's the uncomfortable truth, because sometimes the issue isn't just behavior, it's the gap. If your fixed costs are eating 70 to 80% of your paycheck, no system in the world will make that feel easy. You can optimize timing, you can cut a few expenses, you can control your spending. But if rent alone takes $1,800 out of $2,400, you're operating with almost no margin. And no margin means constant pressure. One unexpected expense and everything collapses. Car repair, medical bill, higher utility bill. Now you're back on the credit card, back in the loop, back in stress. This is where most people get frustrated, because they're doing everything right and still not getting ahead. That's not failure, that's math. And sometimes the only real solution is changing the structure, lowering fixed costs, increasing income, or both. Because discipline can stretch money, but it cannot replace margin. And without margin, you're always one step away from zero. So the real question isn't, why am I bad with money? It's, how much room do I actually have to breathe? So next time your paycheck hits and you see that full number sitting there, pause. Don't celebrate it. Don't mentally spend it. Ask one simple question. How much of this is actually mine? Not the total, not the illusion, the real number, the one that survives rent, the one that survives debt, the one that survives the system. Because that number determines everything. Your stress, your choices, your future. And if that number is smaller than you expected, then maybe the problem was never your discipline. Maybe you've been living off money that was never yours to begin with. So be honest with yourself. When your next paycheck lands, what's your real number?